dead. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
And now, the legend of the Beverly Hillbillies, with your host, Mac Davis.
Hi. Remember the Clampetts? Well, maybe you haven't heard the name in a while, but it wasn't too long ago that they were front-page news. Heck, for a while there, they were in more tabloids than I was. Way back in the 60s, they struck it rich. Now, everybody thinks they know the whole story, but here on the 30th anniversary of Jed's Finding Oil, we're going to tell you the story that you don't know. Their adventures in Beverly Hills made them one of the most famous families of the decade. But in the 70s, they all but disappeared. Now, most recently, they made news again when they lost their entire fortune. But where is Jed Clampett today? Did Jethro ever find a job? Is Elly Mae happy? And whatever became of Granny? Well, tonight we'll try to answer the many questions people have asked about the Clampetts. We'll take a look at some footage of them from the years in Beverly Hills, and we'll talk to folks who knew them. Now, we sent Clampett expert Charles Bernard to visit with Elly Mae and Jethro. He also managed to catch up with Jed Clampett for an exclusive interview, his first one in 20 years. Then one day he was looking for some food, and up from the ground came a bubbling crude. Well, we all know that part of the story. But I got a good friend who says she knows a little more about what really happened. Reba McIntyre. Hey, Reba, now is there something that you know that we should know about Jed Clampett striking oil?
The way my aunt tells it, my third cousin by a previous relation had something to do with the Clampetts making all that money. See, I had family back in the hills that were neighbors to the Clampetts. My Uncle Zeke, actually he was a third cousin, twice removed. Well, anyway, he had land butted up against the Clampett spread, and he was always borrowing stuff. Shoot, he'd borrow the feathers off of a duck if he could. Well, anyway, one day Uncle Zeke borrowed Jed's gun and accidentally broke it. He tried to fix it, but when Jed got it back...
Hey, Jed, sorry about your gun. I think I got the barrel all straightened out. Oops, sorry.
Now, Jed Clampett could shoot the stinger off a V sitting clear in the next county. As far as I can remember, it was the first time ever a Clampett missed a target. But I guess it worked out all right.
Well, thank you, Reba. Well, I guess you could say it did work out all right for the Clampetts.
The Brewster fella said he'd bring the money later.
How much they gonna pay you?
Well, he said I'd depend some on how much oil they could pump out.
Well, he must have mentioned some figure. What was it?
Well, now, Pearl, you know that old swamp one. What shucks.
Jed Clampett, you got slickered and you're ashamed to admit it. That's just what I told him. Granny, how much they gonna pay him?
All right, I'll tell you. He said it runs somewhere between 25 and 100.
25 and 100?
I know it don't sound like much, but Mr. Brewster seemed to set great store by the fact he's gonna pay me in some new kind of dollar.
There ain't no new kind of dollar.
Well, it's new to me. I've heard of gold dollars, silver dollars, paper dollars, but he says he's gonna pay me in, what do you call them, Granny?
$1 million. $1 million?
What do you think, Pearl? You think I ought to move?
Jed, how can you even ask? Look around you. You're 8 miles from your nearest neighbor. You're overrun with skunks, possums, coyotes, bobcats. You use kerosene lamps for light. You cook on a wood stove, summer and winter. You're drinking homemade moonshine, washing with homemade lye soap. And your bathroom is 50 feet from the house, and you ask, should you move?
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Man, be a dang fool to leave all this.
Eventually, Cousin Pearl convinced Jed to take the family to Beverly Hills, where they moved into this big old mansion and began their new life. Of course, it took them a little while to adjust.
Uncle Jed, guess what? There's a whole nother house up here.
from there. Like as not that belonged to somebody else.
There goes that spooky music coming out of the walls again.
Boy, it's pretty.
Where'd you see this chicken?
Down by the cement pond.
Cement pond.
Uncle Jed, that pond is the fanciest thing you ever did see. Why, they are steps, so's the cattle can walk right down into it and get a drink. Granny, when we's done washing, can I go swimming here in the cement pond?
Of course not. I don't allow nobody splashed around in my wash water.
Ain't there no place else you can wash?
This cement pond's the only water we got. Place ain't got a well, it ain't got a creek. Ain't even got a rain barrel to catch what comes out of the sky. There goes that spook. Playing music in the walls again. Come out of there, you gong-ringing goomer, you!
What are you doing, Granny?
That rascal that plays the music in the walls is right behind there. Put your ear again it. You can hear him beating them gongs plain as anything.
Granny, you can hear that coming from every wall in the house.
Must be a whole family of them. I can't get that green tablecloth off there. Save me.
Stuck on it?
I can't imagine anybody to lay a clean tablecloth on a sticky table.
Yeah, Granny, I reckon all women ain't as spick and span as you are when it comes to keeping house.
Here you are, Granny.
Set it in the middle of the table so we'll see if these pot passers reach.
This here table is what you call a billiard table. And you know what I got figured out?
What?
This here rascal must be what you call a billiard.
Dang, if Jethro ain't right. Every time that music plays, somebody comes to the door.
Now, the Clampetts certainly had lots of questions about Beverly Hills, and folks in Beverly Hills had a lot of questions about them. A lot of people ask about Aunt Pearl. Whose aunt was she, anyway? And what was the deal with Granny? We went to some old friends in Hooterville to find out the answer.
Oliver, why was Aunt Pearl Jethro's mother, but Uncle Jed was still just his uncle?
Everybody called her Aunt Pearl. Everybody.
Well, I never called my mother aunt.
Strictly speaking, Granny ain't your granny. She's Elly's granny. You see, your ma, who is my cousin Pearl, is Elly's great aunt on account of her ma, and my pa was brother and sister. And that makes us first cousins. Now, I married Granny's daughter, so Pearl, by marriage, that is to say, my pa would be... Well, anyway, I think you're a grandnephew.
Thank you. I think you're a swell uncle, too.
Well, thank you.
We recently caught up with Ray Charles in the studio and asked him if he knew the Clampetts.
Did I know the Clampetts? I love the Clampetts. As a matter of fact, back in those days, we felt a little out of place. I mean, after all, at that time, the Clampetts in my family were the only two black families living in Beverly Hills.
We'll be back with a look at everyone's favorite granny.
Granny. The name summons up many images. Cook, healer, and the heart of the Clampett clan. But how would she describe herself?
Honey? When I was a girl back in Tennessee, I set so many boys' hearts on fire that they took to calling that neck of the woods the Smoky Mountains. This is strictly for medical purposes. I can feel the rheumatism burning its way up my legs. I gotta build me a fire break across my stomach.
More?
That was for my left leg. Howdy, Mr. Jackrabbit. Would you like to step into my kitchen?
here.
Stand aside, Jed.
Sorry about the door, Mr. Drysdale. But when Granny's ready to go, she's ready to go.
It fell. You did that on purpose, Pearl Bodine. My pie can't fall. It can't, huh? Just did. Don't call them places drugstores.
Granny's right, Jethro. Put the truck away.
Yeah, but the sign on the front said drugstore.
I don't care what it says. I say they's not drugstores. They is what-not shops.
Granny's right, Jethro. Put the truck away.
You can buy automobile tires, bed springs, chocolate sodies, but just let a doctor walk in like I done and ask for a simple healing drug like bull nettle root and wahoo bark, and they look at you like you were some kind of a nut.
Granny's right, Jethro. Put the truck away.
Well, maybe they don't sell bull nettle root or wahoo bark.
Then don't call them drugstores.
Hey, look what come from Aunt Pearl while you was at the drugstore.
I didn't get took to no drugstore. I got took to a what-not shop.
Granny's right, Jethro. Put the truck away.
But the sign out front said drugstore.
Put the truck away.
I don't care what the sign says.
Open the box, Granny.
If you can't believe a sign, what can you believe?
Granny's doctoring skills kept the whole family healthy, as Cousin Roy explains.
There was this one summer I just wasn't feeling good, but none of the doctors in Beverly Hills could find anything wrong with me. Granny diagnosed that my blood was angered. She had just the right remedy. She always had a cure for what ails you.
How do you cure warts? Warts? Stump water and lye, mixed with ground up crawdad tails, daubed on with the leg bone of a buzzard, just before the moon comes up.
Granny? How many times have I told you it's against the law to cook moonshine in Beverly Hills?
I ain't cooking moonshine.
Just calling it rheumatism medicine don't make it legal.
It ain't rheumatism medicine neither.
What is it?
I'm brewing up a love conjure.
Love conjure?
My great-great-granny left me the secret. But it's only to be used when a woman is too old to get a man any other way.
Oh, now, Granny, you're still a fine figure of a woman.
It ain't for me. It's for Elly Mae. Elly Mae, you go sterilize my soul. We's gonna make medical history.
Well, what you mean?
I'm gonna perform the first head transplant.
Can I help?
You is gonna be the donor.
Donor? What's a donor?
Never mind. Take 2 aspirin and wash your neck.
Okay.
Now, medicine was just one of the fields in which Granny was an expert. Her cooking was also legendary back home.
Oh, we're gonna have a doing for the folks next door.
What you got planned?
Oh, possum stew, grits and jowl, some corn pone. To get the wrinkles out of their belly, I'll start them off with some nice hot our soup. I'll make them up a possum and plenty victuals more. See if you can guess what that is.
That is either rain crow, barn owl, or yellowhammer.
Close.
Mud hen?
Right. That's a coot cobbler.
Coot cobbler? Granny, you are really putting a big pot in a little one today.
Take a cider and a little Mountain Dew.
This ain't none of your hard cider, is it?
Not specially.
Now, Granny's cooking and medical skills were never fully appreciated by the Beverly Hills natives. But Granny never totally trusted city folks anyway. She never lost her taste for country living, and she never failed to bring a little taste of the country into her home.
Anything special you want to hear, Granny?
No. Anything you boys do is good.
It'll have to go some to be as good as that possum.
Jed Clampett!
Well, baby.
Up next, the hungriest of hillbillies, Jethro Bodine.
Jethro Bodine, a big strapping country boy as hungry for life as he was for food. He took to Beverly Hills like a frog to a pond.
Shall we talk about your youngster who's entering our 5th grade? What is his name?
Jethro Bodine.
Bodine? Jethro.
No, ma'am. Jethro Bodine.
We always put the last name first. Now, male, of course.
Yes, ma'am. Just got a letter this morning.
Oh, you are the fun-loving one, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Jethro, have you been upstairs yet?
No, ma'am.
Then you've got a surprise coming to you.
What is it?
Your sweet.
So are you.
Hold it, boy. Nobody loud in the kitchen while Granny's making her medicine.
Oh, I gotta get in there, Uncle Jed. I'm starving.
Well, you'll hold out. You had an extra big lunch.
Yeah, but that was an hour and a half ago.
I thought you was going to cut down on your eating.
I did. Down to 4 feedings a day now. 4, not counting meals.
What in tarnation? Do you call that dressing a turkey?
Well, I did the best I could. I didn't have no clothes that'd fit him. I borrowed them clothes from a little fella down the street. I've been thinking, I'm so good at ciphering and all. Maybe I ought to be a scientist. You know, like Albert Einstein, instead of a brain surgeon.
You'll see.
Joining us now is a man who is no stranger to satellites, Mercury astronaut Scott Carpenter. Scott, did Jethro have the right stuff to be an astronaut?
As you know, Jethro dabbled in various careers thanks to his Uncle Jed's generosity. One day, soon after my Mercury spaceflight, Mr. Clampett came down to Cape Canaveral and offered to make a big donation to NASA if we would take his nephew into the space program.
That's all he can think about anymore. Ain't nothing in his head but space.
You can say that again.
Well, I didn't mean for it to come out the way it did. What I meant was the boy... I believe I let it stand.
It seems that Jethro had been trying to become an astronaut on his own at home.
And what's this get up for? You look like a big chicken.
I'm an astronaut. I'm going into outer space.
Well, you make sure that you're back in time for supper. I'm counting on you to eat a dozen or so of these stewing hens.
Well, I don't know, Granny. I got to blast off, make my re-entry, get snatched up by a helicopter, put down on an aircraft carrier, walk the red carpet, get a phone call from the president, get my debriefing, ride in a ticker tape parade, and hug and kiss 20 or 30 beautiful girls. Yep, I can make it for supper.
Of course, Jethro wasn't really astronaut material.
6, 5, 4.
But he was persistent.
1, blast off!
Where'd he go?
We've got a gentleman on the satellite right now who can tell us a whole lot about Jethro's undercover career, G. Gordon Liddy. So, Mr. Liddy, what happened with Jethro?
Well, I owed a banker in Beverly Hills a favor. His name was Drysdale. Now, he knew a kid who wanted to be an operative, and he asked if maybe I could give him a break. I gotta tell you, this kid was a little green.
Oh, I might have been followed. I use an old double-knot spy trick and disguise my voice.
Enthusiastic, yes. But not what I really call spy material.
Didn't know it was me, did you? This here's my smoke screen maker. This here's my oil slick spreader. Suppose they goes to shooting at me. Then I give them this. Now then, miss. Doggone. There goes my secret radio again. Now, hold on there, mister. Don't try nothing unless you want to get this iron hat skimmed at you. When I say iron, I mean iron.
Well, make a long story short, I used this kid on one job. It was a hotel in Washington. Enough said. I have no idea what this kid ended up doing.
Well, one person who knows what Jethro ended up doing is our field reporter, Clampett expert Charles Bernard.
So, Jethro, you actually became a doctor?
Yes, sir. Always wanted to be a doctor.
But you also wanted to be a folk singer, a movie star, and a double-naught spy.
Well, I was younger then, and once the Berlin Wall fell, there wasn't much call for double-naught spies.
So, what's life like for Dr. Jethro Bodine?
Well, I'm settled down now. I was kind of wild in the old days. People used to fashion me as a bit of a playboy.
Well, here it is, kitty cats. Is that a bachelor pad or is that a bachelor pad, huh?
In tarnation?
Here, Uncle Jed, come meet your kitty cats.
Is this the uncle with all the catnip?
No, ma'am, just money.
Hey, my kitty cats?
Well, these two is yours. This here big one is mine.
Jethro.
Well, I couldn't find another one this size. Won't you settle for the two regulars?
Those days are long gone. I started me a family now.
So these are your children?
Oh, yes, sir. This is my youngest daughter, Daisy. And over here is Ulysses, and this is Clam, and that's little Norbell. Of course, the triplets, William, Bill, and Billy. And then Amelia, little Jed, Maud, Robin, of course, Granny Jr., and then Mike and Tino and Eddie. And over here is my little Angel and my little Pumpkin.
And what are their names?
Angel and Pumpkin. And then we got Lori and Pixie and Dixie. We're going to have this frame filled early next month. We's expecting.
You've got quite a large family, Jethro.
Well, Granny always said I had a healthy appetite.
Dr. Bodine, Mr. Peterson's temperature is up to 105.
Well, for God's sakes, hurry up and put a skunk on that man's head. Then take him down to the lab and wrap him in rotweed and bobcat claw and roll him in swamp water. If his fever persists, he's going to have to sleep upside down in the well. Now, hurry up. Go on. Now, where were we?
One last thing. Any regrets?
I don't have any regrets. But you know how people say they never forget their high school sweetie? Well, seeing as how I have a 6th grade education, the one I can't forget is my first girlfriend. Sometimes I wonder what life would have been like with her.
Her?
Shoot, Miss Jane. Miss Jane Hathaway.
I accept the mantle of responsibility with which you have cloaked my shoulders, and I shall so conduct myself that if this great financial institution shall last 1,000 years, this was their finest hour.
Oh, please, just let me take a peek at him. Oh, I'm ring-a-ding-ding over that man.
And that man is ring-a-ding-ding over yours truly.
You?
Me?
Dash, Riprock?
You're not aware of the new trend, are you? What you have is on the way out, and what I have is on the way in.
My dog is whatever Miss Jane's got. It's hid like a quail in a thicket.
Funkmaster Hathaway.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that you look remarkably like a condor?
It's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. Something amiss, Chief? Chief, my woman's intuition tells me all is not well.
You are fired.
I was right.
As soon as you drive me up to the Clampetts.
A reprieve. Don't be alarmed, Chief. This is just for the Clampetts. I have no intention of disrupting office discipline with my seductive appearance.
A remarkable change.
3 hours in the beauty salon.
Tell me, are you busy tonight? Because if you're not, I'd like you to work and make up those 3 hours.
Nobody was really surprised when Jane Hathaway turned state's evidence and helped convict her boss, Milburn Drysdale.
Chief, Mr. Clampett is your friend. Your largest depositor, your benefactor. How can you undercut him?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How?
I refuse to take any part of your nefarious schemes.
Then you're fired.
I quit.
Oh, no, you don't. I fired you.
Very well, that way I get severance pay.
You're not fired. Now, quit.
On second thought, I think I'll stay around and see what happens.
Okay, and get up to the Clampers and find out where they're going to drill. There'll be a big, fat reward in it for you.
My reward will be seeing you get the reward you deserve for your greed and avarice.
Yeah, it should run into millions.
Well, it turns out that Drysdale had been skimming money from people for years. The Clampetts were just the tip of the iceberg. Also, people wonder whatever happened to Jane Hathaway. Well, she was relocated by the Witness Protection Program, and she's got a new life somewhere. She left everything and everyone behind, including Jethro.
Jethro? Don't you think you should reward me for my efforts?
Well, all I got with me is a nickel and 2 pennies, but you can have that.
There are other ways for a handsome young man to reward a young lady.
There is?
Yes. Tell me, do you enjoy kissing?
Well, I like to kiss girls.
Well, then, I'm going to close my eyes, and I want you to enjoy yourself. Go ahead, Jethro. Enjoy yourself.
Hey, him, huh?
Get out of here, you shameless vixen!
Yes, ma'am. Come on, dude. Thank you for the kiss. Jane Hathaway was perhaps the most loyal woman I ever met in my whole life. I was just too blind to see how wonderful she really was. You know, maybe she was the one that got away.
When we return, a visit with the lovely Elly Mae Clampett.
Like many beautiful women, Elly Mae Clampett is a walking contradiction. On one hand, she's a sensitive soul, a friend to all animals. On the other, she's a spirited tomboy who could wrestle you to the ground with one hand tied behind her back. We'll be visiting with her in just a few moments, but first, let's take a look at Jed Clampett's lovely daughter, Elly Mae.
Oh, Elly Mae, I don't reckon that's the way a young lady comes down the steps in Beverly Hills, is it, Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, not as a rule, no.
Oh, I can come down the other way. Watch this.
I'm ashamed of you. Running off from Miss Hathaway.
I didn't run away from Miss Hathaway.
What'd you climb up here for?
To cut a fork for that new store-bought slingshot she brought me.
Did she bring you a slingshot?
Fanciest thing you ever did see. Look at that.
A store-bought, lace-trimmed, double-barrel slingshot.
Ain't it a doozy? I don't know how good I can aim it, but it'll sure throw a heap of rocks.
Oh, Elly Mae, wouldn't you like to try to hit one of the targets?
I sure would.
Ah, which gun would you like to use?
Don't want no gun.
Elly Mae don't much cotton to fire on.
Don't tell me she's going to try to hit something.
Halt!
Don't you know your paw is sick?
Yes, ma'am, Granny. But don't worry, they won't catch nothing. Oh, you sure was right. Oh, hi, Granny. You don't have to wear boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
May, you promised me you wouldn't wrestle.
I ain't been wrestling.
And what have you been doing in your ball gown?
Doing what I'm supposed to do, playing ball.
We recently talked to two of Elly Mae's most persistent suitors, actor Riprock and Sonny Drysdale, stepson of jailed banker Milburn Drysdale.
Elly Mae and I were very close.
Well, you're the prettiest extra I've seen.
Well, thank you. After I've been an extra for a while, can I be a star?
Well, now, I think you can. If you can handle the love scenes.
Well, I try. I don't know just a whole heap about such things.
Would you like to learn?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is lesson number 1. Say prune.
Prune.
Again.
Again.
Just say prune.
Prune.
That's it.
Prune. I was right. You're more fun than Elmer.
I don't understand why you'd have Riprock talk about Elly Mae. Everyone knows she and I were linked romantically. Was in all the papers.
You want to come into the parlor?
What are we going to do in there?
Talk about the birds and the bees.
Well, Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I don't think he meant newspapers. He meant scandal sheets.
Elly and I wanted to keep our affair a secret.
I think it was even a secret to her.
Because Elly Mae was head over heels for me.
Oh, that's a laugh. Sonny was the one who was head over heels.
Why did you throw him? That rascal was fixing to bite me.
Dash and Sonny were just two of many who tried to win Elly Mae's heart. But Elly Mae had always been too much of a free spirit to settle down and get married. Today, even though she's no longer living in a mansion and wealthy, she's very happy on the beautiful grounds of her modest home. Charles Bernard caught up with her, doing what she loves doing best, tending to her critters.
Nice place you got here, Elly.
Why, thank you.
I see you still love your animals.
Oh, shucks. Critters are easy to love. Why, there's nothing sweeter than the smell of a yard full of critters on a hot summer afternoon.
Oh. Hiya, Elly.
Oh, morning, Dominic.
See you down at the lake.
Okay, bye, Dominic.
On to the lake. Okay.
See? We's just one big happy family.
Well, the Clampetts were always one big happy family.
Well, except times I had to wrestle down Jethro. I'm just as strong as Jethro.
You ain't neither.
I am so.
You ain't neither.
I am so too. You want to wrestle?
Darn too.
Now, here, Jethro. Person can get crippled from a hole like that. Get up from there.
I can't, Uncle Jed.
But we was all real close, especially me and my pa.
Elly Mae, you're getting too big to wrestle with boys.
I ain't as big as Jethro.
Big that way, I mean, growed up. You're a young lady now. You gotta start minding your manners and fixing yourself up real nice and wearing dresses.
Pa, folks would call me a sissy.
It ain't sissy for girls to act like girls. You see, Elly, I raised you like a boy, and I was wrong to do it. You're pretty.
Oh, Pa.
I know you don't like it when I say that, but you like it when the young fellas around here come in saying it, and they will. Only they'll probably be using words, fancy words I won't even understand. But Elly Mae, ain't nobody can ever tell you how pretty you really are, except me. You're the living picture of your mom.
So, Elly, you think you'll ever settle down and get married?
Well, you know, I was courted by some awful swell fellas. But I never found anybody that I loved more than my pa or my critters.
Hey, Elly, look at the size of this fish.
Excuse me a moment, Elly, but the way that bear talks, it's incredible.
I know. When I first met him, he stuttered.
Well, thanks for inviting us into your home. It's great to see you doing so well, especially after all your father's financial difficulties.
Well, that wasn't Pa's fault. It was that rascal Mr. Drysdale who lost Pa's money.
It's Super Banker!
Chief. Oh, Miss Holloway, how do you like this drapery material? Isn't it a cheerful design? Chief, I'm having the whole office done in money green. A very restful color.
Chief, get a grip on yourself. Something terrible has happened.
The bank's been robbed.
Mr. Drysdale, it does not concern money.
Don't scare me like that.
I sure hope I don't get into trouble with the government.
Relax. If there's any problem, Miss Hathaway will take the blame.
And since you have failed to make your final payment promptly, we are forced to repossess your automobile. Sincerely, your friendly banker, Milburn Drysdale.
Chief, you're telling your own brother you're repossessing his car?
Oh, that is a little cold, isn't it? P.S. Regards to Betty and the babies. I figured out a way to get my $50,000 back.
Wonderful.
It's coming out of your salary at $10 a week. And to pay me back, you'll have to live another 100 years.
Chief, you're the greediest, most avaricious man I have ever known.
I'll drink to that.
Milburn Drysdale is currently serving time for mismanaging funds at his Beverly Hills bank. Hundreds of the bank's investors were completely wiped out, including one J.D. Clampett. But did this destroy Jed Clampett? You'll find out when we return. Jed Clampett is still close to his family and friends. Becoming a millionaire didn't change him one bit. And losing those same millions didn't stop him from being happy. Now, who knows where this newest gusher might take him or what new chapter it signals in the legend of the Beverly Hillbillies. I'm Mac Davis. Night.
Continental, one airline can make a difference. Business first. The comfort and service of international first class at a business class fare. That's the difference on Continental.
Coming up next, Jason Alexander, Jill Eikenberry, Jane Seymour, and a host of stars present the American Television Awards, a 2-hour celebration of the best of television. A global special presentation next.